Every morning is a new page in the book of your life, and the words you speak upon waking are the ink that writes your destiny. The unseen forces of the universe bend to the vibration of your words, for what you declare with faith sets the pattern of your day. When you rise, speak life, speak abundance, speak as if the treasures of the earth are already yours. The world is a mirror, reflecting the images you hold within. Therefore, let those images be rich, fearless, and filled with expectation of good. Say, I am in perfect harmony with the wealth of the universe. The invisible supply rushes to meet the soul that knows it is already provided for. The law of plenty is ever at work, waiting for your recognition. You do not beg for wealth, you align yourself with it, and it flows like a river to the sea. Morning declarations set the tone of your day because the first words you speak upon waking are like the brushstrokes on a fresh canvas. The mind, in those early moments, is receptive and impressionable, open to suggestion before the noise of the world rushes in. Whatever you declare in that quiet space shapes not only your mood, but also the energy you carry into every action and encounter. If you rise with words of lack, fear, or complaint, you begin weaving a day filled with those very threads. But if you rise and speak abundance, gratitude, and expectation of good, you set in motion a vibration that draws matching experiences toward you. This is not mere positive thinking, it is the conscious use of the creative law that responds to faith-filled words. The moment your eyes open, you are already sending instructions to your subconscious mind, which in turn communicates with the infinite intelligence that governs all supply. By choosing your words deliberately, you are writing the script for the day ahead, instructing life to deliver on the images you hold. When you speak a declaration such as, I am in perfect harmony with the wealth of the universe, you are not simply making a hopeful wish. You are affirming a truth that already exists in the invisible realm. The mind cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is physically real. It accepts your statement as fact and begins aligning your perceptions and choices accordingly. Over time, these repeated affirmations condition you to act, think, and expect like someone who is already wealthy. Your awareness sharpens to notice opportunities you might have missed before, and your energy becomes magnetic to people and situations that support your declared reality. The morning, then, becomes your launching pad, where a few spoken sentences can shift your trajectory for the next 24 hours. Moreover, early morning declarations carry a unique potency because they bypass much of the mental resistance that builds up during the day. At dawn, the chatter of doubt, past failures, and societal conditioning is quieter. In that stillness, your words plant seeds directly into the fertile soil of your subconscious. Like a gardener tending the earth, you understand that the seeds you plant today will yield tomorrow's harvest. The more you repeat them with emotion and certainty, the deeper their roots grow, until they become your natural state of mind. You no longer have to force belief. It becomes the air you breathe. This practice transforms your mornings from a rushed or distracted routine into a sacred appointment with your own future. Instead of drifting into the day on autopilot, you step into it as a deliberate creator, sending out a clear signal of the experiences you choose to welcome. The law of life responds not to idle wishes, but to the confident tone of one who knows the outcome is already theirs. By speaking wealth into your mornings, you are not chasing riches, you are inviting them to meet you at the dawn. Alignment attracts, not begging, because the universe operates on the law of correspondence. What is within is reflected without. When you are aligned with wealth in thought, feeling, and belief, you become a natural match for it, just as a tuned radio picks up a certain frequency. Begging, on the other hand, springs from the belief that you are lacking, and lack cannot produce abundance. It sends a signal of need and desperation, which draws more circumstances to confirm that need. Alignment is the quiet confidence of knowing that supply is already present, even if it has not yet taken visible form. It is the awareness that you live in a universe of endless resources, and that your share is secure by the right of your existence. To align with wealth means to think, speak, and act as one who already has it. This is not about pretending or forcing. It is about embodying the state of prosperity so fully that it becomes your natural way of being. When you feel abundant, you naturally make choices that reflect trust and openness. You do not cling to every coin or worry over every expense because you know more is always on the way. This state of calm expectation is magnetic because wealth, like all good, flows toward ease, joy, and certainty. Think of a river. It moves freely and smoothly toward the sea. If you stand in its current with open hands, the water passes through them without resistance, and yet more always follows. If you clutch at it in fear of losing it, you only create turbulence and drive it away. The act of begging reinforces the very condition you wish to escape. It places you in the position of a petitioner rather than a rightful heir. You are not a stranger to abundance, knocking on the door for scraps. You are a child of the universe, moving within the house of plenty. When you beg, you tell your subconscious mind that you do not have, that what you desire is far away, that someone or something outside you must grant it. This creates separation between you and your good, keeping it at a distance. Alignment erases that distance by affirming that what you seek is already within your reach. Practically, alignment might look like giving thanks for your wealth before it arrives, smiling when you pay bills because you know the supply is infinite, or speaking words of certainty such as, "I always have more than enough." It is choosing to invest in your growth, to dress and carry yourself in a way that reflects confidence in your prosperity, and to keep your attention on possibilities rather than limitations. It is understanding that wealth is not something you chase. It is something you allow by matching its vibration. The more you embody that state, the more naturally wealth finds its way to you, without strain or pursuit, just as a flower opens to the sun and receives its warmth without asking. Circulation creates multiplication because wealth is not a stagnant pool but a flowing current. Money, like water, must move to remain fresh in life, giving. When you send it out with faith, generosity, and joy, it returns to you multiplied through channels both expected and unexpected. This is the law of circulation. What you release into the world, whether money, kindness, or opportunity, must come back to you in greater measure. Fear and hoarding block this natural rhythm, causing the stream of supply to shrink. But giving freely, with the consciousness that there is always more, sets the law of increase into motion. Every act of circulation affirms to your subconscious mind that you are in abundance. If you pay for something and feel anxious, you signal that your supply is limited, and your reality reflects that belief. But if you release money with gratitude, knowing it will return in some form, you open the way for greater amounts to flow back. The multiplication is not always immediate or from the same source. It may come as new business opportunities, unexpected gifts, favorable circumstances, or financial gain from unrelated channels. The form does not matter. The law is that outflow invites inflow. Consider nature. Trees release oxygen into the air and receive carbon dioxide in return. Rivers pour into the ocean, and rain replenishes the rivers. The cycle never stops. So it is with wealth. When you allow it to move freely, you become part of an unbroken exchange between giving and receiving. The more joyfully you participate in this exchange, the more the universe entrusts to you, because you have proven yourself a willing steward of its gifts. Circulation also multiplies because it touches lives beyond your own. When you pay a worker, buy from a store, or donate to a cause, your money supports others, who then spend or invest it further. Each movement triggers another, creating ripples that can travel far beyond what you can see. The energy you send out gathers momentum, eventually returning to you as a wave of increase. This is why generosity is never loss. It is seed planting. You do not dig up a seed to see if it's growing. You trust the process, knowing the harvest will come in due time. Many people block their prosperity by clutching too tightly to what they have, believing that if they let it go, it will not return. This belief creates a sense of scarcity, which then manifests as limited opportunities and restricted flow. The wealthy, however, understand that money is a servant, not a master, and its purpose is to be used, shared, and set into motion. To circulate with faith is to declare, I live in a universe of endless supply, and what I give returns to me in greater measure. This consciousness transforms every transaction into an act of multiplication, ensuring that your wealth not only remains but grows. Opportunities are magnetized by faith because faith is the invisible force that shapes the conditions of your life. When you hold unwavering belief that the right circumstances, people, and resources are making their way to you, you naturally begin to attract and recognize them. Faith acts like a magnet, not because it manipulates events, but because it tunes your mind to see what might otherwise pass unnoticed. Just as a radio dial must be set to the right frequency to pick up a station, your faith aligns you with the frequency of your desires, drawing matching experiences toward you. Without faith, opportunities may still pass near, but they slip by unseen or unrecognized, as the mind clouded by doubt cannot perceive their value. Faith changes your posture in the world. It makes you walk, speak, and act with a quiet certainty that your good is already secured. This confidence sends a signal to others and to the universe itself that you are ready to receive. People sense when someone believes in their vision. It inspires trust, cooperation, and collaboration. In this way, faith not only draws opportunities from the unseen realm, but also from the human connections around you. A mind anchored in faith does not second, guess whether the door will open. It moves forward as if the door is already swinging wide. When you expect good, your attention naturally seeks it. Faith turns your mental lens toward possibilities, and what you focus on expands. A person without faith might see a challenge and stop in fear. A person with faith sees the same challenge and recognizes it as an open path to growth or gain. This shift in perception allows you to act where others hesitate, often making you the one who seizes the chance that others overlook. Opportunities, then, are not always about luck. They are about readiness, and faith keeps you ready. Faith also creates momentum. Small actions taken in belief tend to produce results, and those results reinforce the belief, creating a cycle of confidence and achievement. You may start with one small step, a conversation, a new skill, a bold request, and find that each move leads to another door. These doors often seem to appear in perfect sequence, but in truth, they were always there. It is faith that made you notice and approach them. Living in faith also shields you from the paralysis of fear. Fear blocks action, and without action, even the best opportunities cannot bear fruit. Faith, however, encourages motion, knowing that the path will unfold as you walk it. This movement itself draws more possibilities into your orbit, because life responds to forward momentum. By holding firm to your vision, even when evidence is not yet visible, you create a magnetic pull that brings the right opportunities into alignment with your life. Faith does not strain to make things happen, it rests in certainty, and in that rest, it attracts everything it requires. Words are seeds of prosperity because every statement you make carries creative power. Just as a seed contains within it the pattern for the plant it will become, your words carry the blueprint for the experiences they will produce. When spoken with belief and feeling, they take root in the subconscious mind, which then sets about attracting the matching conditions in your life. If you speak of lack, difficulty, or misfortune, you plant seeds of those very conditions, and in time they sprout into reality. But if you speak of abundance, opportunity, and ease, you sow the beginnings of a prosperous harvest. The soil of the mind is impartial. It will grow whatever seeds you plant, whether they serve you or harm you. This is why deliberate speech is so vital. Each day, countless words leave your lips without thought, yet every one carries weight. A casual complaint may seem harmless, but it reinforces the belief in limitation. A single sentence of gratitude, spoken sincerely, can shift your energy and open doors to new possibilities. Like a skilled gardener, you must be vigilant about what you allow to be planted. Words spoken in haste, frustration, or doubt can undo the work of days or months of positive declaration. Therefore, cultivating a habit of mindful speech is the first step toward creating lasting prosperity. When you choose words that affirm wealth and success, you are not pretending, you are calling forth what already exists in potential form. The unseen realm is filled with possibilities, and your words act as the command that shapes those possibilities into tangible results. Saying, "I always have more than enough," is not an empty phrase. It is a declaration that aligns your mind with the law of supply. Over time, these words become embedded in your consciousness, replacing old patterns of lack with new patterns of abundance. The power of words lies not only in what they say, but in the energy they carry. A declaration spoken without belief is like planting a seed in dry, barren soil. It will not take root. But when spoken with conviction and repeated consistently, your words begin to gather strength, drawing to you the people, ideas, and opportunities that match them. This is why affirmations are most effective when spoken aloud and with feeling, as the vibration of your voice reinforces the message both inwardly and outwardly. Consider also the ripple effect of your words on others. When you speak prosperity into the lives of those around you, you are planting seeds in their minds as well. The goodwill and encouragement you give often find their way back to you in multiplied form. In this way, your speech becomes a continuous act of sowing, not just for your own benefit, but for the enrichment of the world around you. Every word you speak is a seed. Choose them with care, water them with faith, and watch as your life becomes the flourishing garden you envisioned. Claiming wealth as your divine right begins with the understanding that abundance is not reserved for a chosen few. It is the natural inheritance of every soul. You were born into a universe overflowing with supply, a world where the earth produces more than enough for all. To believe you must earn, plead, or prove yourself worthy of receiving is to deny the truth of your existence. The moment you recognize wealth as your rightful possession, you stop chasing it and start allowing it. This shift from striving to claiming transforms your relationship with prosperity, for you no longer approach it as an outsider seeking entrance, but as an heir stepping into what is already yours. Many people struggle with feelings of unworthiness that block the flow of abundance. They have been taught to see wealth as a privilege rather than a birthright, or to associate it with greed and selfishness. These beliefs create inner resistance, and the universe can only deliver what you are willing to receive. When you affirm, "I am worthy of all the riches life has for me," you dissolve those barriers. You send a clear message to both your subconscious mind and the world that you are open to receive without guilt, fear, or apology. This is not arrogance. It is alignment with truth. Claiming wealth also means letting go of the idea that resources are limited. When you see life as a pie with only so many slices, you may hesitate to take your portion, fearing it will deprive someone else. But divine supply is infinite. Your gain does not mean another's loss. In fact, the more you prosper, the more you are able to circulate blessings to others, expanding the flow of abundance for all. Understanding this frees you to claim your wealth joyfully and confidently, knowing that doing so benefits the whole. The act of claiming is a declaration, not a request. You do not say, "I hope to have wealth someday," but rather, "All that is mine by divine right is now released to me." This language carries authority, and authority moves energy. The universe responds to certainty the way a seed responds to water. it begins to unfold the necessary steps for manifestation. Once you make the claim, your role is to act in harmony with it, making decisions as someone who is already abundant. This may mean investing in your growth, seizing opportunities without hesitation, or simply carrying yourself with the confidence of one who knows they are provided for. When you claim wealth as your divine right, you free yourself from the struggle and scarcity that come from trying to earn what is already yours. You shift into a state of ownership, where abundance is a constant companion rather than a distant goal. In this state, you stop measuring your worth by what you possess and begin to see possessions as the natural outflow of your inner certainty. This is the posture of the prosperous, a quiet, unwavering knowing that nothing can keep from you what belongs to you by the law of your being.